You're watching the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Now it's time for the Brent and Austen Show.
Forget the Jags. Forget training camp. A promise made is a promise kept. I said yesterday in the sports office at about 3 p.m., if the Braves didn't go get a freaking starting pitcher, then we were scrapping the start of the show, and we're locking in right here. Take a look at your screen because that's me this morning.
Look pretty disappointed.
What a freaking joke, man. What a joke. I mean, let's just go out there, Austen, as the team with the third best record in the National League, and let's do absolutely nothing. And here's the best part. My new favorite pastime is watching everybody else get better.
Yeah,
But not
I mean,
us.
there's shades.
Bro. We're going to be trotting out freaking Martin Perez if the playoffs started today.
There we go.
In Game 3. And our Game 2 starter would be a guy who has all of one start on the entire year who just got back. Hey, Chris Sale, you're pitching Game 1. You're going to be in relief in Game 2. You're probably starting Game 3. Relief in Game 4. Just have it all, bud. Just have it all. Do nothing. Here's what I like. Thank you, AI, for creating this image for me. Game plan. Number 1, do nothing. Number 2, hope for the best.
That's it? That's all we got?
What a disaster.
Sure.
What a disaster.
Yeah.
The saving grace, maybe. I got this text. At least we didn't trade for Dustin May. That's who y'all got.
I'm aware. And why is that a bad thing?
He has had a total of 1 really good start all year.
Okay.
And you know what's sad about that is that's 1 more than the one dude we traded for.
Sure.
That's 1 more than he's had all year. He
Okay.
hadn't had a damn one.
Sure.
So we're just going to concede. We're just going to bow down to the Dodgers. All hail the Dodgers. They're going to win it all. So we're just going to save our prospects, save our money. We're not going to play baseball at all next year anyway. So why get rid of our prospects? And then maybe we'll try it 2028.
Okay. I was going to let you do your thing, but then you got to call out my Brewers for making moves.
Y'all didn't do diddly either.
I mean, we got pitchers, but not the pitchers that we wanted.
So did we.
But in terms of Dustin May and the high ERA and everything, I mean,
He sucks.
okay. How was Kyle Harrison last year?
He was good.
Kyle Harrison was good last year for the Red Sox.
I thought he was on the Giants. He went from Giants to Red Sox to y'all?
I'm pretty sure Kyle Harrison's on the Red Sox.
Oh.
And my question was, how was he last year?
Not great, but not horrible. Not Dustin
Look
May
it up.
bad.
Look it up. He was pretty bad.
Why are you trying to defend Dusty May?
Because there's obviously a vision here. And once again, am I upset that the Brewers didn't get Tarek Skubal? Absolutely.
Dude, yeah, just
But
be
look what
pissed.
What do you want me to do? They made the offer. And for whatever, and if you've been reading what's been going on, the Brewers offer was probably better than the Dodgers offer. But for whatever reason, the Tigers organization thought that the minor leaguers from LA were better than the Brewers ones. Like they weren't going to give up, the top overall prospect in Jesus Mate. And I'm glad they didn't. Like, yeah, am I upset? Sure. But like, am I happy they got some like consolation prizes? I guess.
No, you're not. You're not happy with consolation prizes.
So here's your thing, and go ahead and tell me how to feel. I guess you did this exact same thing with me last year when we lost Freddie Peralta, and you were saying, "I can't believe the Brewers lost Freddie Peralta, aren't you?" And what did I say? No, I'm not, because in the Brewers I trust. How's Freddie Peralta doing this season?
He sucks.
And once again, I'll go back to how did Kyle Harrison do?
I can't believe you. I get it's Skubal or bust, but y'all didn't do crap.
They got literally 2 pitchers. And they guess what? And you know what they specialize in? First of all, don't compare your franchise with my franchise. Like
Compare the
if
two
you wanna,
franchises, they didn't do crap. We turned no-namers into dudes also. Y'all are not the only ones in baseball who can take some average Joe and make him good.
Who's the best team in baseball in doing it?
Probably the Rays. And then probably y'all.
Taking pictures and okay.
The Braves are right there too.
I completely disagree. I think when it comes to taking pictures that nobody wants, I think the Brewers do a better job than anybody of bringing those pictures in. I mean, they call it the pitching lab for a reason and getting the best out of them.
But that's not going to win you a world championship.
Well, you know what? I don't think really anything's going to win a world championship against Skubal, Snell, and company. And
so
Ohtani.
then that's the thing. You're just conceding.
What did you want them to do? Like I said, the Brewers made the offer. They weren't going to trade the top prospect in the farm system.
I'm not saying Skubal. How about Casey Mize? How about Foster Griffin? Or we're just going to twiddle our thumbs here, watch everybody else get better.
Are you mad at the Brewers or are you mad at the Braves?
I'm mad at the Braves.
Okay,
now I'm mad at you.
Then be mad at the Braves.
Mad at the Brewers.
Because it is what it is, man. Welcome to a small market. Like, this is nothing new. I know all these songs. I watch this every single year.
It's unbelievable.
It's the reason why I didn't freak out when Devin Williams got traded to the Yankees. It's the same reason why I didn't freak out when we lost Josh Hader. Same reason I didn't freak out when you lost Freddie Peralta. Like, I know how this game goes. I've been versed in this game. So, no, I'm not going to, freak out and start the show with it because was I expecting anything else? Not really. Was I expecting Skubal? Honestly, yes, I was, because it would have been a CC Sabathia reincarnation.
There we go.
But once again, I can't be mad at the Brewers when they try to make the best effort to try to get him, and when a lot of people are saying they actually have the best offer on the table. Like, what do you want me to say?
If they had the best offer on the table, it would have been accepted. I'm not buying this. The Dodgers are.
I don't know, man. When the general manager comes out and says,
well, of course
hey,
he's gonna say that.
Okay, man.
The Tigers are just gonna say, hey, this offer's way better, but it's not the Dodgers, so we're not gonna take it.
This is a great way to start the show. Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, let's just bring in.
What's the chat saying? Has the crowd officially gone mild when we're at training camp? We're talking about the Braves and how you feel about them.
Unbelievable.
Hey, I assure you, it is unbelievable. Yes, it's really unbelievable. What's the chat saying? Anything? Or we got crickets? I bet crickets. Okay, I can't see the chat.
No, I'm not bringing it up.
I don't think anyone's bringing it up. What's up, Brent? I can't hear Brent. Awesome. And then we're not hitting buttons in terms of
unbelievable.
Stream. You all right, man?
No. I told you.
Ben Porter, who you telling? I'm annoyed.
Let's see if we can get him back.
Mm-hmm.
Here he is.
How about that? You got me?
Do we know our audience or do we know our audience?
Unbelievable.
I love it was a bad start to the show. It was an energetic start to the show. I loved listening into it. So, we'll talk about the Jags.
You and one person.
Mm-hmm. But you being pissed at Hamby, wanting to fight him already, and Hamby wanting to fight the world is not a bad start to the show.
I'm just pissed because of all the things to talk about. We had to talk about the Atlanta Braves and what they decided to do. Like, I don't think we're actually going to do that. Like, that's wild. That's cool.
All right, let's get you rocking and rolling then from football. Jags are still working, practice going probably for another, I would say, 10 or 12 minutes. So Jags going a little more lengthy than yesterday. Final practice before they take a break tomorrow and then back at it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I think Sunday too. Yes, no fans today for the first time. This is the first time fans haven't been invited to the practice. So, but once again, pretty cool morning. Now the sun has popped, so it's getting a little bit hotter. The Jags have been fortunate. I would say you kind of wonder, you get to the point through the first week of camp, and you wonder if Liam Cohen, is it hot enough? It's been cloud cover, some rain, and you want a little bit of that. You want to make it as tough as possible where it's really hot, and I'm sure there's still plenty of time to get that. Overall observations, guys, Anton Harrison, a lot of left tackle again. The defensive front, I thought pretty dominant at times. Some of the reps, I think it was a row that had probably a sack before even Trevor let the ball fly, and I got picked by Antonio Johnson. I think he was already blown dead on the play. They were on a far field, so it was a little bit hard to tell. And then in a couple of one-on-one reps, Trayvon Walker, holy cow, did he put it on Jonah Monheim, and then BJ Green, nice spin move. So just a couple of those kind of highlights here today. The pace has been a bit slower, I think, going into tomorrow, but the work is longer here today as well from maybe what you saw out here yesterday. C.J. Williams continues to make plays. I think he's an interesting story. Stuart Weber caught up with him yesterday. Good listen. And if you go back and watch that one, or maybe we'll have it for you today, but he's catching everything. He just keeps making plays, and Jacoby Myers has been raving about him as well. So those are some quick observations. Austin, I think you came in yesterday like, okay, Anton Harrison. I mean, shoot, it's almost like they've made the move putting Anton Harrison over at left tackle.
I mean, yeah, well, I just think, once again, we don't know the situation with Cole Van Lanen, and that's a story that's been, I feel like, kind of kept hush-hush. All we have to go off of is what we see on the sideline and what Liam Cohen tells us, right? And I understand that Liam Cohen operates in communication and being transparent. But this is one of those situations where, and you know how I feel about it. Like, I always say be transparent to everybody what's going on. This is one situation, though, where you might want to keep it a little more quieter, right? Because there may be some gamesmanship here. If you're Liam Cohen and you say, hey, Cole Van Lanen may not be ready for week 1, well, then Cleveland Browns see that, and it's like, okay, well, now we can start game planning for maybe Anton, So I understand why, at least from my standpoint, I really don't know what's going on with Cole Van Lanen. I don't know how long he's going to be out, truly, right? All we have to go off with what Liam Cohen says. And I said this yesterday. I do think that left tackle is Anton Harrison's position. So whether or not Cole Van Lanen comes back, in the preseason, whatever the case may be, I don't like trying to find silver linings with injuries, because when you lose a star, well, I'll say a star, when you lose a great player like Cole Van Lanen for an extended period of time, that's going to be an issue. But if anything good can come of it, maybe this will be the chance for Anton Harrison, who will be going into a contract year, to establish himself as that left tackle and have all the incentive in the world to make as much money as he wants to at that position.
Yeah, I just think it's pretty interesting for the fans catching up on this, at least from my point of view. Cross-training happens all the time in the NFL. And that's not a surprise. I mean, they did that last year. But I think there was a comment at one point in the spring that from Liam Cohen, and I think I heard this right, where Anton probably wouldn't move to the left side as much. Now, again, you had signed Cole Van Lanen. He had played left tackle last year. We all know he played it well. And then you also have Walker Little and Chuma Edoga, who could play there on the back to back those guys up. I guess my question for you, that's just a little bit of the background, if you're jumping in on the Anton Harrison story and why this has become a little bit of a thing. Well, Friday we were out here and we saw, and it started to become a little bit of a topic that, hey, Anton Harrison, not the first 2 days that I can remember, but on Friday slides over to left tackle a little bit. Well, it's like he hasn't left there since. And the Jags were kind of quiet on Friday. They're like, oh, it's just cross training. Now, I thought Liam Cohen's words on Monday, I think it was yesterday, Monday, were a little bit louder than that, where he said, hey, if it works out for us and it works out, that's great. So he didn't necessarily lean on the cross training as much. He acknowledged it, but he also said, hey, if it works out, hopefully it's a good thing for us. So it feels like he really opened the door with a comment like that. And obviously the unknown of Cole Van Lanen, to your point. So I think that's how we got here to this point, and just wanted to reset that for everyone. And so I asked this question of you, Austen. How much of this has to do with what you just said in Anton Harrison, and that's his natural position, good player? You mentioned yesterday, I like that. I think you did about the contract, and you gave a little chip and motivation. Can make a lot more money maybe on the left side. Maybe not a lot more, but still more money. And then how much does this have to do with what you have as a backup? How much is this about Walker Little and Edoga not maybe performing to the point where they want to see those guys perform? So is it more Anton Harrison and what he can do, or is it more about what Little and Edoga maybe can't do from that side?
Well, to me, it's two things. It's about what Anton Harrison can do, and I think there's some worry when Cole Van Lanen comes back. Those, to me, are the two big things, right? And listen, I'm going to always err on the side of Tony Baselli more than my expertise at the offensive line position, right? Tony is a Hall of Famer for a reason, right? So he knows what he's talking about. And he said it, right? Like, nowadays, right tackles are making money, left tackles are making money. Like, they almost mirror each other. But what you can't deny is the importance of a left tackle who can protect your quarterback's blind side, right? And I think that's where it comes with Anton Harrison. And once again, yes, it was one practice yesterday in pads, right? Talk to me in 2 or 3 weeks and let's see how it looks. But yesterday, you saw a natural feel from Anton Harrison in terms of his pass setting, in terms of the run blocking, like he looked at home there. And once again, we don't know the severity of Cole Van Lanen. We expect him to be back sometime, right? So when you bring that guy back with whatever knee injury that it is, right, would you feel more comfortable putting him on the right side where he's played in the past, not protecting the quarterback's blind side? Or would you feel more comfortable saying, well, all right, Anton, you're doing good in training camp and everything, but you go back to the right. Cole, you're going to protect Trevor's blind side, and we hope it works out. Like, to me, I'm going to err on the side of the former. I'm going to rely on Anton Harrison protecting the quarterback's blind side. And if it goes bad for Cole Van Lanen and, maybe he gives up some pressures, at least Trevor can see those pressures coming.
Yeah. And I get it. I guess this is maybe an older way of thinking. This is what I like about this regime. You've got some young blood in there. You've got some new stuff. And it's not necessarily analytically driven, okay? It's just that, and we've talked about this a bunch, Austen, over the years, where you get guys and you try putting them in multiple spots. And I get the cross training, but when you don't focus on one position, do you actually take away from a guy that's just locked in and focused on his one position? Now, it worked fine for Cole Van Lanen. It doesn't mean it works well for Anton Harrison. So what I would like to see is just some kind of, I'd prefer a decision. I guess that's the old school me, where you just say, hey, go here, go focus on this, do this, be great at this, rather than splitting up your time you might go back here. And who knows how long they need to make that happen. It might just be like riding a bike for Anton Harrison anyway, because he's played there before. Same goes for Cole Van Lanen. Have an interception, by the way. Who is that? I think it's Eric Murray. Murray's had himself a nice camp so far, I think, in the first week of things. But so anyway, I think the conversation will continue. Here's the other part of this, Austen. We're going to get glimpses in joint practices against the Saints next Wednesday. And I think one practice against Carolina and then 2 against the Bucs. I don't feel like we're going to get a ton of information from the preseason games out of the starters. So I think a lot is going to rely on from what we can tell in maybe those 4 practices of how the Jaguars feel about their offensive line. They're always going to say they're going to play the best 5. Well, this might be a true indication of it. And those 4 practices, I would think, would be pretty paramount about making their decision toward the regular season, as I just don't see these guys playing a bunch in the preseason games at all to determine anything.
No, without a doubt. I mean, those joint practices are going to mean everything, especially going against different types of guys too. If you're Anton Harrison playing left tackle, and like, listen, I understand your narrative, Brent, of well, he was on the right. Why did you change him back? Because we've seen this in the past. We've seen when you ask guys to do one thing and then you move them into another spot, sometimes it doesn't work out that well. But I just want to remind everybody that when Anton Harrison was drafted, he was drafted as a left tackle. He was a left tackle coming out of college. I think he only played 1 game at right tackle. Everything else was left tackle out of Oklahoma. And the vision, I believe, was for him to play left tackle when he was drafted here. The only issue was that Cam Robinson held down that spot, and you can't justify drafting a guy that high in Anton Harrison and going, all right, well, you're going to be the heir apparent, but we're not going to play you at all, right? So they kind of had to put him at right tackle to justify where he was picked. Then, when Cam Robinson leaves and everything, he makes his home there. But, like, it's not to say the guy can't handle left tackle. He spent pretty much his entire college career playing left tackle. So, like, I'm supremely confident that he can pick it up in training camp, keep doing what he's doing, and by the time it's week 1 against Cleveland, once again, if Cole Van Lanen doesn't come back and take that spot back, I'm confident that Anton Harrison can handle that position.
Yeah, and maybe a more natural position. I'm not going to deep dive into this part right now, but just a note, because he is in his 4th year now, which kind of snuck up on me until you brought it up yesterday. And we talk all about Parker Washington's deal, guys. We saw this offseason. We had Cole Van Lanen, Buster Brown, Brenton Strange, Trayvon Walker. I think that was it in terms of the contracts, and all eyes on a Parker Washington potential extension. But the Jags do have 2 guys that have come up in the last week or so that they also might want to reconsider, or at least consider paying fairly soon. And that is maybe Anton Harrison. If they value him at 2 positions, that's a tough position to find. One of them, you figure he would play, and, well, it might be time to pay him as well, along with Van Lanen. And now you got your bookends for quite a long time. And then we mentioned Devon Hamilton last week in the whole Vita Vea stuff, that if you're not going to make that move, you're number 1 in the rush defense. He's really good. You like him. Do you now say, hey, at 29 years old, I believe, for Devon Hamilton, do you ink him to a deal? I mean, the Jags might have some work to do outside of Parker Washington, and wherever their belief system is, how do they feel about getting those guys fully to free agency? Do they sign them in the next month, or have they had conversations? I think probably start poking around on that a little bit more, because it's just not Parker Washington. Seems like these two players are very valued to the Jags, and both in a contract year might not want to let them hit free agency.
No, without a doubt, right? And once again, like, you know, if we want to play it and we really want to get in depth with the salary cap and everything and what you can talk about, okay, well, if Anton Harrison plays left tackle and he plays well at a Pro Bowl level, that's going to cost a lot more money, right? Then you're going to be able to afford Parker Washington if you don't pay. Like, we can go down that whole road right now. But, like, all I'm focused on is what you have at hand. And what you have at hand right now is if you put Anton Harrison at left tackle, that's extra motivation for him to try to bust his ass and have a great season. Like, we saw what motivation did last year from Liam Cohen and Anton Harrison, right? Because I don't think any other player was challenged last year more than Anton Harrison in training camp. Like, Liam Cohen called him up personally, said he's got to do better and everything. I think he answered the call. You know, I think along that offensive line, and I get Cole Van Landen stepped in, did his thing, but Anton Harrison might have been the most consistent thing all season on that offensive line. All right, very cool. So when we talk about, you know, if he wants to play left tackle and everything, sure. Is it going to cost maybe more money? Yeah. Are you going to maybe have to franchise tag him, or maybe have to look at different options going forward because it's going to be a lot of money tied to that left tackle position? Sure. But, like, all I'm concerned about right now, and maybe I'm sure this is what James Gladstone's concerned about really, is, hey, can we have a guy that can keep Trevor upright all season? And if we can do that, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, right? Whether we franchise tag him, whether we throw, you know, the bank at him, whatever the case may be. But, like, right now, I'm just focused on, hey, can Trevor Lawrence stay upright?
Real quick, Austin, if you're Anton Harrison, if you're in his shoes, do you absolutely want to play left tackle because they get paid more?
Yep.
But obviously there's a risk there. Obviously it's the whole bet on yourself thing, but he's comfortable at right tackle. He's proven that he can play right tackle at times like a pro bowler. You think he's absolutely wanting to play left?
Yes. I wholeheartedly think, and I also think that Cole Van Landen wants to play right, honestly. And when we look at Anton Harrison, like, listen, I understand you get paid wherever you play. What did Cam Robinson make going to Minnesota?
Oh, gosh, what was that deal?
I don't know if he did get it. Did he re-up with them after he got traded?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure he ever re-upped. Maybe it was a one-year deal, Austin, but it was kind of like on the end of the Jags deal. I'm not sure he ended up re-upping or not.
Okay.
I know Jawan he signed a $1 million.
Jawan Taylor's a good example.
Yeah, Jawan Taylor signed a decent deal.
But was Jawan Taylor left or right?
Right.
Well, he was right here, but he moved. No, he moved. They wanted him to move.
Oh, they moved him to left. Yeah, okay. So then what was
the went back and forth.
So what was Jawan Taylor's contract?
That was $20 million a year. We were stunned.
Yeah, it was golly, where's it at? 4 years, $80 million. 4 years, $80 million.
Okay, so we're talking 20 and then whatever the signing bonus, all that stuff. All right, so $20 million a year for a guy, like, let's be honest, like, he was fine, but there was a reason why the Jaguars, like, I don't think we're really that worried about losing him.
Sure.
Right? And we're saying, all right, well, go look in Kansas City. So if he's making, you know, and this is a couple years ago, you're making that. I mean, if Anton Harrison can come out there, and I think you're going to be in a high-powered offense where you might be a Pro Bowler, because once again, I know it's a popularity contest, but like every little accolade matters in negotiating a contract. If you make a Pro Bowl and everything, he's going to get the bank, and I think he understands that. So to answer your question, Hamby, I think Anton Harrison wants to play left tackle because that, and once again, both sides are important.
Sure.
But it's the quarterback's blind side.
Yeah. Hey, listen, guys, this dude's only 24 years old, too. You know, 24 years old, and he just turned that in February. He's a young guy. We've been talking about this for a long time. I've been a big fan of Anton Harrison, and I know he needed a little bit of a spark last year by Cohen, and he answered the bell. I think he's a really talented player. I thought he did some nice things immediately in the league, even as a very young player. That was part of it. I think he was like hardly 21 years old when he was playing for the Jags that rookie season. I mean, that is Jags should feel really good, but they've got to find ways to keep all these guys, and I think there are ways. I mean, heck, you mentioned the franchise tag. Maybe that's what they do with a Devon Hamilton, right? Maybe you could franchise tag him, although that position is probably insanely priced now too. So whatever, we'll let them figure out the finances. My point's only they've got more guys than just Parker Washington to take care of potentially if they want to keep as this core, or they've got some tough decisions to make to let guys go and redraft and hopefully hit on the draft. And maybe that's an Albert Regis move, right? Is that the long-term move? Devon Hamilton, all right, we're going to let him walk. We don't want to, but we just can't afford it right now in the current construct of our team and roster. But we hope when Albert Regis comes in here, grows, and is ready to take over that spot. I mean, that's the name of the game as well. You can't sign everybody to $20 million a year contracts or $15 million a year contracts.
Guys, just to put a bow on the Anton Harrison conversation, he is 5 months younger than Emmanuel Pregnon. 5 months younger.
Crazy.
So all the more reason to why you would want to, if there's any doubt, want to sign him to a new deal, because he's probably still not had his prime yet. I mean, if we're drafting dudes who are 24 years old, we don't expect them to be in their prime. So why should we expect Anton Harrison to have reached his prime? Obviously, he's got 3 more years of NFL reps, but why would they not believe that his best ball is in front of him? He's so young that go ahead and sign him to. I mean, he's got 2 more contracts in him. Yeah, maybe not in Jacksonville, but he's definitely got 2 more contracts in his NFL career. At least one of those should be in Jacksonville.
Yeah, listen, and once again, I think there's a reason why last year Liam Cohen called out Anton Harrison. I think there's a reason why we're starting to see Anton Harrison maybe play a little more left tackle, right? Like, think about where Liam Cohen comes from. Think about what he had in Tampa Bay. He had a guy in Tristan Wirfs who's regarded as one of the best offensive tackles in all of football. And he understands what a great offensive tackle can not only do for your offense, but also most importantly, do to keep your quarterback upright, right? So Liam Cohen's aware of this. Like, I understand we're getting all bogged down with Parker Washington and the wide receivers, Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter's having a great day. What's going to happen with the running back group? Make no mistake about it. There still has to be a priority and a premium at the tackles and the guard positions, because if you want to make this thing truly work, you need offensive linemen to do that. So that's why I think we're seeing this whole thing kind of take part here. We're seeing Anton Harrison play left tackle. Like, it's that important. Like, more important than running the football, more important than paying Parker Washington is making sure that Trevor Lawrence stays healthy the entire season. Or guess what? Yeah. It's going to be all for nothing, right? So if that's the conversation that we're having, and there's that much of a premium to try to get the best out of Anton Harrison, well, then it makes all the sense in the world why maybe we're seeing this right now.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Good stuff, guys. I think, boy, 5 months younger than Emmanuel Pregnon. That is insane. I'm trying to digest that. And that is, he's played 3 years. He's played like 50 games in the NFL. And he's 5 months younger than Pregnon, who was just drafted, which also goes to show you a guy like Anton Harrison in today's college football landscape might not have been drafted.
Yeah.
This past draft. I mean, might, because of the money being made in college and everything else. But it is pretty fascinating and spot on. You got to take care of Trevor Lawrence, man. That's the name of the game.
And once again, and to kind of echo what Daniel Kilkenny is saying, I said this yesterday a little bit, of course he wants to play left tackle because the contract's there. Absolutely. Well, then let's think about Cole Van Lannon. Just got paid, right? So, like, there's really no pressure on you to play one side or the other. So maybe you play the side that maybe you're a little more comfortable on, and that's the right tackle. Like, listen, I don't know personally what Cole Van Lannon wants to do. I assume he wants to play on the right side, but I know for sure Anton Harrison wants to on the left side. Like, that's obvious as the day is long.
We did this yesterday. $17 million a year right now for Cole Van Lannon, which is a pretty reasonable deal if that's one of your guys on the offensive line, especially the way the money is today. And that would put him, I think I said, around 17th or 18th in the NFL at left tackle. But it puts him at about 8th or 9th, I believe, at right tackle. So the Jags actually, from a financial standpoint, are getting a hell of a deal if they like Cole Van Lannon at left tackle compared to the rest of the NFL. And they're not asking him to play like an elite top 3 guy in the National Football League where Laramie Tunsil's getting paid $30 million a year. So on the right side, again, you're beefing that up. You're saying, hey, we want you to knock on the door of a Pro Bowl as an 8th or 9th highest paid right tackle. The guy leading the way there, of course, is Tristan Wirfs at like $28 million. So it does change kind of the way you view, I think, a player and what they're getting paid and the value and what you expect out of them, depending on, I think, where Cole Van Lannon sits, Austin.
No, without a doubt. I mean, it's everything, right? And maybe we should have spent a little more time focusing on this, right? Like, we always get bogged down with the fantasy football stuff and the wide receivers, man. But like, this is this is maybe a storyline that maybe we should have put a little more time into, in the preseason or, before the camp even started, because I guess we all expected Cole Van Lanen to be back right away, and by all indications, we have no idea yet.
Yeah, hey, they're wrapping up practice. I'm going to wrap up this segment and go. I forget who said it in the chat. They said off topic, if Liam Cohen wins the Super Bowl, which, by the way, is not off topic. Super Bowl expectations, let's go. That's definitely not off topic. Now, he did say, would we adopt the Duval that he displayed early on as the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars? I don't think so. I don't think that's changing, but he can laugh all his way through a parade if that happens. That's for sure.
No, I mean, but I think it's the quintessential story of Liam Cohen, and I think like that's just as important as anything else is. Like I hope they do bring it back, right? Because you have a guy who he says that he tries to fit in, and maybe he wasn't comfortable doing it. Obviously, he got grilled and lambasted on social media and everything, and that gave him a little more ammunition, I feel like. And now look at him, right? Like everyone grows, man. And I think people like the underdog story. I think people like the self-growth story, if you will. And honestly, from year 1 to year 2, has any coach that you've seen, and I get we wear teal-colored glasses, so it's hard to tell on the National Football League, but I don't think any coach has grown more from year 1 to year 2 than Liam Cohen. You went from Duval to check out my Louis Vuitton bomber jacket. Check out me trying to fight Robert Saleh on the sidelines. Check out me going through my cell phone saying no one's respecting us, and that's dropping on the airwaves. What's the story in Titans camp? Soybean oil or whatever in their food? Sick. Cool. Breaking the internet with cutting out seed oils. Great. Ain't gonna get Cam Ward 30 touchdowns, but I hope it works.
It's called character development.
There we go.
It's been quite a character development for Liam Cohen here in Jacksonville. Hey, I'm going to go catch up with Tanner Koziol. I think a little under the radar guy who can catch everything, put up great numbers in college, and really adds to the depth of the tight end room. Maybe you can answer this when either I come back or maybe just give you a little segment on the way to the break. But, I mean, the Jags have a chance here, I think, to have their most depth in a tight end room maybe in history, especially in the last 20 years or so. They've had a guy. They've had Brent last year. They've had Evan Ingram. They've had Mercedes Lewis, obviously. But the depth of the room hasn't been wowing overall. And so I think they have a chance to have that here in Jacksonville with this group. Now, there's a lot to learn from Borkacher and also Koziol, but I'm going to catch up with him in just a bit. And the big guy and the red zone target, it looks like, where the Jags might be able to utilize him the most, the 5th-round pick out of Ball State and Houston. We're on the road once again, and on the road on the Brent and Austen Show, presented by Nimnick Buick GMC. Check them out at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick Buick GMC, right off Phillips Highway. 1st and 10 training camp coming up tonight. We'll put a bow on everything from camp at 11:15 on CBS 47 and Fox 30. But much more of the Brent and Austen Show coming up live from Jags headquarters right after this.
Attention Jacksonville drivers, we heard you loud and clear. You told us oil changes were taking too long, and we listened. That's why we're proud to introduce our brand new Nimnick Express service. We've added additional staff so you can get your oil changed without ever having to book an appointment. Just pull into our express lane and we'll take care of it. In the neighborhood, running errands, just realized you're overdue, just stop on in. No appointments, pull in, get out, get going. Nobody but Nimnick.
Does it better, plays harder, or delivers more sports than CBS 47, Fox 30, and streaming on Action Sports Jax 24/7. The only local, multi-platform, round-the-clock streaming sports show in Jacksonville.
Yeah, thanks, Brent and Austin. I really appreciate you having me on.
From high school football, college game days, the AFC,
wide open, caught for a touchdown.
The NFC,
he gets there, a touchdown, Seattle.
The PGA,
unbelievable.
World Cup soccer,
Goal!
NASCAR,
Denny Hamlin, big time victory in Nashville.
baseball,
Fly ball deep center, Edmonds going back, the ball is going long.
local Jag shows.
You can feel the energy in here. There should be energy. Jags are in the middle of a playoff race.
And of course, your official stations of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Lloyd, pick six. Breaks a tackle. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
We have all the sports, the exclusive interviews,
We got the best fans in the NFL.
the biggest games, the live events to help make your business soar. So hold on and see why live sports is where you need to be. On CBS 47, Fox 30, and streaming on Action Sports Jax 24/7. Get in the game.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
What a throw! Touchdown, Jaguars!
We're coming for you.
They're gonna get him on the ground, and that's gonna end the ball game.
We show no mercy. Lawrence looking deep in the end zone. Touchdown! Duval!
ETN is gonna take it all the way.
Right here on CBS 47.
CBS 47.
Right here.
Your official station of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And the Jaguars strike first.
Go Jags.
It can be a silent killer, but awareness is getting louder. Blood clots take more lives each year than car crashes. And just like driving, you have to be defensive. A few easy ways to protect yourself or someone you love are to learn your Caprini risk score and ask your doctor about your blood clot prevention plan. Emily's Promise is a local nonprofit named for Emily Atkins, a young woman from Fernandina Beach who died after a preventable blood clot following a broken ankle. Her legacy is now driving change across Florida. The Emily Atkins Family Protection Act strengthens how hospitals screen for clot risks and train staff to recognize warning signs. Blood clots can affect anyone, including athletes, and the signs can be easy to miss. So be aware, be defensive, and help beat a silent killer with loud attention to risk factors and symptoms. Learn more at emilypromises.com. That's emilypromises.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Bijan Robinson, extended here. We gonna break it down right now, Hamby? You want to talk about it later?
Oh, I thought you wanted to talk about it right now.
I thought you said you had some Jaguar stuff we're going to talk about.
We can get to that too.
All right, yeah, but Bijan Robinson, man, just got paid. What's the contract say?
It's 3 worth up to $75 million.
3 for 75?
It's I think 66 in base.
Yeah.
Up to 75.
Yeah. Listen, it's a record, but it's earned. Like, I understand you got Kyle Pitts, you got Drake London, but you watched any Falcons games last year, that offense ran through him. And we'll see what the quarterback looks like. We'll see how, Tua's got his back and Penix is dealing with something, whatever. Like, it could be a mess in Atlanta, but the one consistent thing, and the one guy that's been able to stay healthy no matter how much they depended on him, is Bijan Robinson. I'm really interested to see now going forward what Gibbs is going to get. Because if I'm the Lions, I'm not paying, and I get Gibbs means just as much to Detroit as Bijan means to Atlanta. But with Gibbs, there's too much of an unknown right now. Can he be the guy?
But they don't have any other option.
Well, they have Isaiah Pacheco. But Yeah, but you know what that plan's going to be? That's going to be like they had last year with Montgomery. And Montgomery left because he wanted the ball more in terms of, being like an every down back. I feel like Isaiah Pacheco understands where he falls into play. I think it's going to be Gibbs getting the lion's share until he, pun intended, until he thinks that, they think, okay, well, it might be too much with his frame because he's a little smaller than Bijan. So that'll be the contract to watch in terms of, all right, well, you see Bijan just got paid record numbers. Gibbs, fantasy darling, explosive, but also a little more on the slimmer side. Like, is there going to be a worry they're not going to pay him what Bijan Robinson is making?
Yeah, quick notes on the contract. Again, 3 years with up to $75 million, $51 million guaranteed, which is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremiah loves getting more guaranteed money.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you
this.
What
in the world?
Let me ask you, and I don't even know what the college landscape looks at. I've been, Jaguars all systems go here. I assume there'll be some pretty good running backs in college football. There always is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are we starting to see a resurgence of overpaying and overvaluing the running back position? Because I make an argument 3-4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
After the whole Zeke Elliott thing with the contract, everyone was like, okay, well, we're not going to draft a running back in the first round anymore. They're not making, all this money. Like, we'd rather spend it someplace else.
Right.
Are we starting to see now a resurgence of, hey, if you have a go-to running back, if you have a legit running back, that might be a pretty high commodity as opposed to just going, running back by committee?
Yeah, I think it's true. I mean, I think it's Breece Hall got a brand new contract.
Mm-hmm.
Breece Hall, and you could blame everything else, and I wouldn't disagree with you. Their offensive line, their lack of passing game, all of it, their coaching turnover. He's been mid.
Mm-hmm.
He got a brand new contract.
Mm-hmm.
He got paid. And like you said, there's been running backs drafted in the top 5, top 6 the last number of years. I mean, Jeremiah Love, obviously the most recent of those. ETN just goes and gets a huge deal while they still have Kamara still on the books.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think Saquon is a big part of that. The fact that he kind of broke that barrier of $20
Christian
million.
McCaffrey?
Well, 100% him, too.
Derrick Henry?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry still got paid, but he was just more in his prime to a contender. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good time to be a running back right now. That's for sure.
Without a doubt.
Better time than most.
Let's go to some of the chats real quick here, some of the comments. What we got here? We got Jags Japan. Yeah, I agree. National media says this roster is thin and weak at secondary, running back, linebacker, and O-line. Either way, either we are in our own bubble or they are way off.
Yeah,
I think it's okay.
It's hard, man, when you're in the bubble.
It's hard when you're in the bubble, but also, like, can you really blame that? Like, we don't know what we have at running back yet.
Yeah.
We really don't. Like, we can sit here and say, okay, Christian Rodriguez runs hard, which he does. We can sit here and say, well, Tootin's really fast, which he is. But, like, we haven't seen what it's going to look like yet. So I feel like anytime there's uncertainty, especially with a small market team, the national media will always err on the side of, I'm not going to buy into it.
Sure.
Right? And the linebacking position, I'm not as worried about and once again, when you have Foye Lukin, who's the most consistent thing I feel like sometimes on this defense,
right,
getting guys along, you're not worried about middle linebacker. And then on the outside, the off ball, it's either going to be Ventrell Miller, which what you kind of get with him in the run game, or it'll be Branson Combs. And honestly, like what I've seen so far, I wouldn't be surprised if you go base defense, try to stop the run, focus on that. You'll see a little more Ventrell Miller because, hey, when you tackle Derrick Henry straight up and you put him on his back on the sideline, like Ventrell Miller did, we're probably going to take you a little seriously in the run game.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
And maybe if it's more of a passing situation and you want more of a coverage linebacker, maybe that's where Branson Combs comes into play.
Mm-hmm. If
Branson Combs doesn't go out there and win the spot single-handedly.
Right.
And then when we talk about, the other linebacker, like the base defense, well, then throw in Gardick or something like that. But you're going to see a lot of nickel. And I said this before. You may see a lot of dime where it'll just be Foye out there with some safety help, obviously, with like Caleb Branshaw or a Husky. So I'm not worried about the linebackers that people are saying about the linebackers. And O-line, that's kind of in the we'll see category. We talked about it in the first segment. Cole Van Landen. We just got to wait and see, man.
Yeah.
And hope for the best.
So right now, Anthony Campanile is at the podium. Trayvon Walker will talk at the podium momentarily. And while that's happening, Brent is talking to tight end Tanner Koziol. And Liv is talking to Wesley Williams, both rookies this year. Austin, there was a clip that our own account put out this morning.
Mm-hmm.
It was, generic day 6 video.
Okay.
But the first clip I saw, and I said, what in the heck is that?
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing right here?
Okay.
And it got me a little bit excited.
Okay.
Check out what we're doing right here. I'm slow-moing it so we can take it all in together.
Check it out.
Bro, that's triple option.
Yeah. Well, it could mean, yeah. Triple. Well, I don't.
We got the receiver in motion.
It's an art. Go back.
We got the receiver in motion as the one fake. All right, and then it's pretty much speed option to the right with the pitch where Trevor can keep it or pitch to the back.
Where's the receiver you're seeing?
Well, when he first fakes,
yeah,
right here, that's got to be somebody coming in motion. So that's going to be right there. Boom. That's option 1.
Yeah.
The pitch to the back's 2, and to keep yourself is 3. We got triple option at a shotgun.
Yeah,
for Trevor.
Yeah, I mean, once without getting because I don't
pretty deep in the bag.
They don't want me to get too ingrained with the personnel I found out and stuff. But like you could see a pony package, 20 personnel, 2 running backs in the backfield.
Yeah,
maybe using a little bit of that, right? I'm curious to see if they're going to use that. I assume they will a little bit. It's been kind of Liam Cohen's MO when he has the backs to do it. I don't know if you would if this is more of a Toot and LaQuinn Allen thing where you want to have 2 receivers. I don't know if this is more of a Chris Rodriguez thing.
Bring BP in motion for the end around.
Brian Thomas?
Yeah.
Look, listen, you're going to see a lot more wrinkles this year. The one thing is, and if you want to run the option, great. If you want to get the quarterback more involved in the run game, okay. The only thing that I caution, though, is, and I don't even know what Trevor's numbers were in terms of runs and everything. It seemed like he ran a lot more when he had to, as opposed to like designed runs.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
I hope that's still the case. Like, I understand, dude. He's a big dude. He's fast. He's athletic. He can get you yards, right? And yeah, selfishly, if you ran boots and everything, or RPOs, options, things like that, like, does that put a defense in a bind trying to stop Trevor Lawrence? Absolutely. And theoretically, could Trevor Lawrence be, in terms of fantasy football, one of those rushing guys that can get you a lot of extra points? Sure. But once again, you know how I feel about it. I don't care about fantasy football. And honestly, I'm not even, like, hell-bent on Trevor Lawrence getting all these rushing yards because we saw what it looked like last year with his arm. Right? And the last thing I want to do is put him in any kind of position where he's going to get banged up a little bit. Not to say he can't handle it, because he can. He's a big-bodied dude. But why I would err on the side of caution and more of okay, we'll do an option here, an option there. But, like, I don't want to dual threat Trevor Lawrence. I'll be honest. And maybe I'll get some crap for that.
I disagree. Yeah.
I don't need it. Because, Hamby, we've seen a Trevor Lawrence that doesn't need to run all the time. We've seen a Trevor Lawrence when the pocket breaks down, sure, take off, and then maybe use your arm. But I don't need this guy running 10 times a game.
No.
Okay.
I don't need him 10 times a game.
Well, that's what a dual threat is.
Okay, yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying I want exactly what we had last year.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about the 9 rushing touchdowns because that's really hard to do 2 years in a row.
Well, quarterback sneaks help that out too as well, though.
He had 360 rushing yards last year.
Sure.
That's quite a lot. I mean, he had 82 total carries. So let's do a little math here, Austin. Let's do 82 divided by 17 games, about five totes a game, whether that was scrambles or designs.
Which I'm going to say there are a lot more scrambles than designs.
Doesn't matter to me.
It does matter to me, but go ahead.
I want that clip to stay the same.
Okay.
That was a huge weapon last year. And I'm not saying that he needs that to be, but that's a huge part of his game. That's a huge part that keeps the defense honest.
And once again, I'm not going to call Trevor Lawrence Aaron Rodgers. But what made Aaron Rodgers so great was the threat of the run.
Yeah,
like
escape the pocket and keep the play.
Okay, but it was the threat of the run. Dude, I went against a lot of good quarterbacks. Went against Michael Vick. Went against, played Stafford. I mean, we played a bunch of guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady. I've never seen a quarterback that we had a game plan so much in terms of like the threat to run and embarrass us like we did when we played in Green Bay against Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers isn't going to bust you for 100 yards rushing a game.
Of course not.
But it was the threat of it. Like at any time, this guy can, if you give him a hole, he's going to step up or he's going to escape, get you 10 yards, or use his arm. That's what I'm wanting for Trevor Lawrence. Like, I don't want designed runs. I don't need a Lamar Jackson. I don't need a Jaden Daniels. And spoiler alert, how those guys' careers panned out. Pretty decent with Lamar Jackson, but also injuries are a thing. I don't need Trevor to take unnecessary hits. Not to say he can't handle it. He's a big guy, and I'm sure he's got an ego where he's like, hey, man, I want the ball in my hand. Let me lower his shoulder.
Yeah.
Yes. But also, I appreciate protecting quarterbacks from themselves. And when you have the arm that Trevor Lawrence showcased last year, man, if you want to scramble and have that threat of a run, more power to you, Trevor. But if I'm Liam Cohen, I'm also saying, dude, we don't need to design 5 run plays for you a game. Like, we don't need it. We have the wide receivers. They're going to have your back. Hopefully we have a running game that's going to have your back. We don't need your legs to win a football game. Now, we need your legs to keep defenses honest. But if we're talking about how, man, we're going to need Trevor to have 100 yards to win this game, kind of like an a la Josh Allen, seemed like last year a little bit.
Yeah.
Nah, man.
Okay.
I'm all set with that.
All right, let me ask you one clarification, and I have one quick rebuttal. So let me just make sure we have this right. You're all good with the scramble. You don't want the designs.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. Would you prefer to see more extending play, and then when he's close to, going over the line of scrimmage, still looking to pass more than taking that scramble opportunity? Or are you good with that?
Once again, he has a long ways to go to get to the Aaron Rodgers mention.
So, but do you think he needs to look to pass more?
This is what I'm getting ready to say, man. He has a long ways to go to get to Aaron Rodgers. But I want him to go to the Aaron Rodgers school of scrambling and using your arm. I would much rather see him pass first than run.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And just going back to that clip, it's one rep of triple option. Who cares? I get it.
Sure.
There's no part of you that thinks, hey, it's going to be worth it maybe just this year for him to be a little bit more involved in the designed run when there are more question marks in the running back room. Maybe next year, Tootin is solidified as an RB1, and Chris Rodriguez is a great backup. And you know what, Trevor? We're barely going to do any design runs because we've got those guys.
Okay.
But what about 2026? And obviously, I don't want him to get hurt either. I don't want him to take unnecessary hits.
Mm-hmm.
But if he needs to do 2 more design runs a game for Tootin and Chris Rodriguez to benefit, because the defense has that much more they can't crash down on the edge as much. Is that worth it?
No, because let me ask you this question. What is, we've been talking about this the entire training camp and even, OTAs. Liam Cohen even said it. What is the identity of this offense? What are they trying to do?
Well, they want to run the football downhill.
But what kind of running?
Physical.
Exactly.
Through the tackles.
Exactly. How does Trevor Lawrence, whether it's a sweep, whether it's an option, how does that make you more of a physical running football team?
Well, it doesn't.
Okay,
I think it helps you to run through the tackles, though. If the linebacker has to stutter for a split second because there's more of a threat of Trevor running because he's shown it twice in that game, it's going to help Chris Rodriguez run through his face.
Okay. And a couple of days ago, were we not – I think this was yesterday, actually. Weren't we talking about split zone of what that does to defensive ends and keeps them guessing?
Okay, so that's
so why would I let Trevor Lawrence take unnecessary shots when there's other play calls out there like a split zone out of 13 personnel that's essentially going to put the defense in the exact same bind without getting our quarterback hurt?
I like your point, and I just think if you do 1 or 2 a game, it's a huge weapon.
And
but look,
it's not like I'm saying ban Trevor Lawrence from running. And guess what, Hamby? You're going to see a 3rd and short or a 4th and short, mark my words, and you're going to see a boot. You're going to see a naked boot where he gets a first down. It'll be a designed run. I'm not saying scrap every single design run out of Trevor Lawrence, but all I'm saying is it has to mean something.
Right.
It can't be a 1st and 10. It's like, okay, well, let's keep the defense honest here, Trevor. Naked boot.
Okay.
No, but yeah, if the game's on the line and it's 3rd and short and we need a 1st down, then have at it. Yeah, because that's what football is. But to me, it's about, is the juice worth the squeeze?
Mm-hmm.
If it's 4th and short, 3rd and short, game on the line, then guess what? Squeeze the juice. All right, let's all celebrate. If it's a 1st down when you don't have to do it, when you can easily go 13 personnel, run the football, and not have to have Trevor Lawrence take a unnecessary shot, then guess what? I'll go thirsty. I don't need any juice. That's all I'm saying.
You drink juice?
Not really. Would you consider coconut water juice?
No.
How isn't it though?
It's too close to water. And it's not good enough to be juice. It can't be put on that level.
But you're taking, okay, whatever. I mean,
Did you know it was called a coconut meat? The meat of the coconut?
I did. I was aware of that, actually.
I learned that last week, and it blew my mind.
Yep.
Coconut meat.
Yep. Dan Kilkenny, the only design run for Trevor that has high percentage of success is the sneak. Remember, the slip on 4th down was short.
Okay, I don't know. I mean, maybe that's what the stats say, but I would say there's no shot that the only successful run. Oh, gosh, you got paused.
Delphonic.
There you go. Trevor isn't a good actor. Did you watch the haircut commercial? We got to take a break.
Don't bring that up in front of him.
I know.
Don't ever bring the haircut up in front of Trevor Lawrence again.
He's over it.
Brent Martineau found out the hard way. I thought bad for even bringing it. I'm like, damn. Okay, sorry, man. I was trying to get to the James Harden question, but okay, you got it. What do you got? We got next, Hamby.
We'll hear from the likes of Tanner Koziol. Maybe we hear C.J. Williams. Let us know if y'all are interested in hearing from him, and maybe some more thoughts from training camp as Brent will pop back in.
Can I give one prediction of the Tanner Koziol interview?
Let's hear.
Y'all gotta help me with BJ Green and Josh Hines Allen. I'm getting killed out here.
I like it.
Yeah, all right.
We'll hear from Trayvon also. All right, at least he's at the podium. We'll have some takeaways from him as well. We'll be right back.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University.
Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oak Leaf High School.
Tony Mazzio, Stanwood High School, class of 2002.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School.
Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
Local sports content anytime and anywhere. That's been the vision of the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network as we bring you live events and exclusive interviews just like this.
I'd be lying if I'd have said in 1995 when they picked me that 30 years later I'd be sitting here.
Let's see this weigh in right now. What do we got? Oh, we got a big go. 44.48. There's the moment here.
Lead is 14, matching the largest of the game. Crawford,
oh
did it again!
Gosh. If we can't do the minimum of making it to the Final Four, then something's really not right.
And it's only growing from there. So join the thousands of people that have been tuning into the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network each week. Download the apps, save the website, or tune into any of our social media platforms as we bring you local sports anytime and anywhere. So come watch some sports with us on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Nimnicht is synonymous with Jacksonville, and now in 2026, Nimnicht is celebrating 85 years of partnerships with you. Longevity equals trust, and you want a car dealership you can trust. Thousands of vehicles sold, generations of families, all part of the Nimnicht family of dealerships. It's nobody but Nimnicht, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnicht Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road.
Congratulations to Jordan Matthews, our committed to the uncommitted player of the year.
Nobody but Nimnik. They are there for you and your causes, your car buying experience, and they are there for you 24 hours a day at NimnikBuickGMC.com. Experience professional grade with big inventory and even bigger savings. And Jacksonville's only Car Bravo certified dealership. Nobody but Nimnik for 85 years. This milestone belongs to you, Jacksonville. It can be a silent killer, but awareness is getting louder. Blood clots take more lives each year than car crashes. And just like driving, you have to be defensive. A few easy ways to protect yourself or someone you love are to learn your Caprini risk score and ask your doctor about your blood clot prevention plan. Emily's Promise is a local nonprofit named for Emily Atkins, a young woman from Fernandina Beach who died after a preventable blood clot following a broken ankle. Her legacy is now driving change across Florida. The Emily Atkins Family Protection Act strengthens how hospitals screen for clot risks and train staff to recognize warning signs. Blood clots can affect anyone, including athletes, and the signs can be easy to miss. So be aware, be defensive, and help beat a silent killer with loud attention to risk factors and symptoms. Learn more at emilypromises.com. That's emilypromises.com. Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show. Brent will be back here in a little bit, covering Jaguars training camp today after their second day in full pads. I believe he's catching up with Tanner Koziol, so hopefully have an interview with him. Before we get, I got a question about the tight ends, Hamby, I want to get into a little bit. But
all right.
we have a giant sheet of something on the table. Hamby, have you investigated it?
I've seen that it is cupcakes.
So these are cupcakes that was in the display of a giant shark.
Oh.
For Liv Tasley's birthday.
Okay.
I think it's a fashion thing. 'Cause I've seen like the look of it like on shirts. It's like a cartoon shark that I feel like a lot of women are wearing these days.
Really?
Me being the fashion expert I have no idea what the hell it's from. Cool looking design. I have no idea. But yeah, those are cupcakes from Liv's birthday party. That I actually attended for a little bit. So
Let's
that
go.
was cool. Yeah, I got to meet all of Liv's friends, and you know what, man? Like, spoiler alert: 8 couples. Eight couples were there, I think, and then there was me and my dog.
Hey, kudos to you.
Hey, first of all, didn't even know what was going on. Oh, okay.
My bad.
Speaking of not knowing what's going on,
Continue.
didn't even know what's going on. Like, hey, I'm expecting, okay, what? Maybe there's some single friends there, single, ready to mingle, all that stuff. Oh no. Walked in, and obviously I showed up a little late. Walked into an absolute gambit of 8 couples, right? Everyone holding hands and everyone being lovey-dovey. And then here you have Aus just hanging out by himself. I was fighting for my life. But all things considered, never had so much fun in my entire life, man. She's got some cool people, some very different types and essentially we had teachers. We had a guy who was he worked for Guinness beer, so spoiler alert, got all the Guinness beer that I wanted to drink that night. Yeah. all walks of life, all different kinds. One worked for the Jaguars, right? And then this dude was pouring concrete. Like, it was all walks of life, all combined. And you know what, man? I felt at home. I got along with everybody.
I like it.
No awkwardness. It was cool. I had fun. Yeah. But once again, it was the initial of, I'm the only single person here, Liv. I'm not sure why you told me to come by, because literally fighting for my life for a little
I think
bit.
you deserve a lot of credit in general. I would have given you even more credit if you knew that ahead of time and still went.
Oh, dude, and you know me, like, I'm very, like, I have my friends, I got my group and everything, and I keep it like that. I'm not always up into, like, new experiences, meeting new people, like, dude, I'm 38 years old. I've lived life. I don't need to, to do all these new things with new people. Like, I'm all set. I got my people, right? Well, I got some new people. They were cool. I'm glad I went. Oh. And you know what? And it was outside my comfort zone. So I'm happy that I'm proud of myself that I did that.
I have no idea how you guys got on this topic, but I'm so glad you did. I wanted to ask. Yesterday you were out of the building, and then we were so locked in on Jags. Mm-hmm. I was real curious how this manifested. And I just was like, all right, that's kind of cool. But that's also a little odd. Like, I didn't have that on the bingo card that Austen was hanging around at whatever place that was for Liv's birthday with that group. Now, I was kind of hoping, you just spoiled it for me, though, but I was kind of hoping it was like my wedding, where, like, I felt like every one of my friends ended up hooking up with everyone's of Steph's friends.
There we go.
But if everybody was married, I guess you didn't go home with the new love of your life.
Well, no. I mean, there wasn't any upside down pineapples that I had to worry about, even though they're chock full of vitamin C. I wasn't going to do that. But, dude, you want to talk about, and once again, might be some irons in the fire, right? Because even though I didn't know what I was getting into with the couples and everything, I mean, you better believe couples have friends, right? So what does Austen do? Austen goes to the liquor store, which I haven't been in forever, and I bought my first bottle of wine ever. And I'm just thinking, okay, well, Liv's Italian. Let me find an Italian wine. Probably about 30 to 45 different types of Italian wines out there. So, I had to get on AI a little bit and say, like, hey, I'm going to my coworker's birthday. She's like my age. Like, I remember how old she was. Sorry. I'm like, she's like my age-ish. And she's like, she's active and she's a former cheerleader. What kind of wine should I get? Boom! AI gives me the A+ rating of this one. Hopefully she ain't listening. Was on sale, by the way, too, Brent. Like, it couldn't have worked any better. So got the wine, got it in a nice little bag and everything, and here comes Austen 5 minutes late to the dinner, holding a bottle of wine. Nobody else got her a gift. Oh, that's so nice, Austen. You better believe it. And then guess what? And then after that, you know what I did? Because I'm an adult and I know how restaurants work. Got to ask the specials. Lobster ravioli was on one of the specials, right? Nobody else asked the specials. So Liv Tasty was pissed off that I got lobster ravioli and she didn't know about it. In which case I shouted across the table, welcome to restaurants. Here's how restaurants work. You ask for your specials. But hey, what does Austen do? The last ravioli, guess who got it? The birthday girl. Literally, hey, and I was starving because it was a small portion. I was so freaking hungry. You have no idea. You know those fancy Italian restaurants where it's like, here's a ravioli and like a little thing of salad and enjoy your entree. One of those. Oh, by the way, here's, $50, by the way, for that. But no, so what did I do? I handed the plate down. I said, hey, go ahead and hand that to Liv because I know she really wants it. So, Brent, in terms of the friends seeing me in my element, any single friends that are in Liv's circle, best of luck to you. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, I'll see you soon.
See you guys soon.
Meanwhile, Liv's like, who is this guy?
Oh, I know, right? Brent, I mean, I wore a collared shirt and everything. Not like.
Oh my gosh!
No.
Picture.
No. Hold on. I mean, like it was a collared like skateboarding shirt. It wasn't just like a.
Okay.
It wasn't like a polo shirt. I mean, it was Dickies,
You would look good in like a nice linen shirt, like a little button-up linen shirt.
Yeah.
That would look good on you, but you might sweat through that. Linen's kind of a little heavy.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to sweat. And come on, man. I'm not trying to show that much skin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're good.
I love the fact that you saved Liv something at the end of the meal because, like, Liv had probably already eclipsed her 500 calories for the day. So like, she's probably stuffed at that point.
Hey, and then by the way, too, because, there's a dartboard around.
Oh,
hey,
wow.
I heard about the dartboard. That's how I heard about this, that you had attended. That's how I heard
did you hear about it? Did you hear about how I was playing cricket against this dude? And, like, okay, so the first game was a warm-up. He's hitting triple 20s. Okay, go. Hey, second game, Brett, not even exaggerating. Here's how it went. Triple 17, we'll see you later. Triple 16, we'll see you later. Triple 15, we'll see you later. And 3 darts. Wow. Triple.
I really want to throw out Stewart's favorite dart player right now, but I can't remember the guy's name. The guy that's like really popular.
It's going to be Austen Lane pretty soon. The way I'm playing. Yep.
That's awesome.
So
was he shocked? Was the guy that you were playing against like, holy cow?
They were.
I don't say this word a lot. Flabbergasted.
Oh.
Absolutely flabbergasted.
You won him over.
Oh, dude, come on,
Golly,
man. Come on, man.
I mean,
Won people. What's up?
That was one of the most impressive nights of your career. You brought wine, you got lobster ravioli specials, you saved one for the birthday girl, and you crushed it in darts.
Yeah,
man. 38 years old, and you just had a night.
I still got it, man. Still got it, Brent. No.
And in bed by 9:30.
Well, no. got home at like 11:30, which I was not a fan of, but it is what it is.
You said you brought up buying wine, though. What an experience that can be. Holy cow, right? Like, you feel like if people who know wine. People who don't know wine like us don't know what the hell they're doing. Like, $5 versus $500, no idea.
Yeah.
And what I'm always struck by is wine, when you do go buy it, like how cheap actually bottles of wine can be. For the most of them actually are.
Yeah.
Because you look at a restaurant and it's like all these big expensive things, like when you buy a bottle of wine. Like, I never do, but people do. So I think it's one of the hardest things to do. But I love that AI answered it.
Whoa, dude, I didn't even tell this part. So I'm like, that's where I was getting the wine. But a worker comes up to me and they're like, "Hey, do you need any help?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm kind of looking for a wine." And he's like, "Okay, well, are you into more? I think he said dry."
Oh boy.
He was like, "Are you into dry or are you into like something?" I forgot what the other thing was. And I go, "Nah, never mind. I'm good. I'm just gonna browse." Like, what? It's wet. We're good. So it's shout out to AI, man.
I would have just told him, bro. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, but honestly, I didn't know like what he's like. Are you looking for dry? I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking for, man. Like that was a thing. So what am I gonna tell him? I don't know what I'm doing here, sir. Help me. Like. No, that's what AI is for. That's why I'm paying $20 a month for ChatGPT. It's all good.
I got to get that level. That's the one subscription I don't have yet. I guess I got to get on that.
Yeah.
By the way, Delphonic, you did say my reception must have been a blast. Yeah, well, at that time and space of my life at 22 years old, it was a blast. Still the greatest day ever. So, I think it was. But it felt like The Bachelor before The Bachelor at times. After I heard all the stories after the fact.
Yeah.
Hey, they were in their prime at 22, man. We had a baseball team and a volleyball team, and here we go. All right. So what have you guys been talking about? What do you want to know?
Oh, sure. All right. Well, let me start off with this. Obviously, second day of pads. There's no fans for the ambiance, maybe a little extra energy. How was the intensity today? How was the physicality today? Right? Because the whole first day pad jitters are over now. Now we're starting to get into a little more of the dog days of camp and everything. How was the energy today?
Yeah, I'm going to say it's the fans make a difference, right? So I would say the energy felt a little bit less. I also feel like in general, and this is sometimes practices are structured this way, maybe a shade less physical, but longer in terms of, hey, you got to stay locked in and kind of that mental battle of putting stuff in and getting through some kind of boring looking reps for us watching, but those are important reps. And I think it was the longest practice they've had yet, going back to last Wednesday. So I think it was more that, Austin. I didn't necessarily think, oh, wow, what a physical practice, where you were talking yesterday, Chris Rodriguez bowling over some people, and everybody trying to make a little bit of an impact. I think the story of today that you'll probably see out there, I don't know if it's out there yet, is the defense got back at it. The defense kind of won the day. The defense needed to bounce back. Defense was not happy yesterday. Jordan Lewis said, hey, we did not practice well. First day of pads, whatever, but we slipped. That was not where we want to be, me, myself included. And then Campanile talked about that a little bit today as well. Like, you could tell he was visibly, like, not really happy with yesterday's performance. And I read two things into that. One, I not asked him about this, and I think he's pretty good, but I think if you're going to raise the standard of play, you need bad days to raise the standard of play. Like, everything is hunky-dory right now in Jags camp. They won 13 games. Everybody's excited. They got Peter Schrager picking them as a Super Bowl team. You got Brian Thomas Jr. playing well, Travis Hunter having a day. You got all these positive stories. Well, I think you do need some negativity along the way to kind of reset yourself, right? To humble you a little bit, to make you hungry, keep you hungry. Don't get complacent, because complacency is just human nature, especially when things go well. I don't care if you get paid millions. I don't care if you're 1%. You still have to guard against some of that. And so I think the bad days yesterday, whatever that was, and he mentioned just the blocking, the tackling, the fundamentals, all those things were off yesterday. I think it's important to have days like that, so then you can reset, bounce back, and see what we saw today, where it looked like, I thought the defensive front was pretty dominant, had a little more of a chip on their shoulder. And those are just parts of the ebbs and flows of camp. But I do think it's important as you wonder where the standard is. And then again, Austen, camp, Jordan Lewis, these guys talking specifically on defense, they look so dialed into me. And they look like they're just not happy with almost anything, which I think is a great sign, because I've admitted this in the past before here. It feels good in Jacksonville right now. The floor has been raised. We think this is a good team. I think it is a good team. But as you will mention, more than I will mention, the goal is to win a Super Bowl. The goal is to be the best team. Well, in Jacksonville, we're just not allowed to think about it that way a lot, it feels like, because the baby steps of just trying to get there. I don't know if this is a baby step kind of journey. I think this is hey, we arrived last year. Now we want to be the best team in the league, and you got to raise the standard and know what that standard feels like and is. So I like that I don't see complacency out of this group, specifically on the defensive side right now. They don't seem as satisfied as the rest of us when you get a good performance or a good play, and I think that's important.
No, without a doubt. And we talk about how it's important that the head coach should mirror the city and the team should really mirror the city, right? And maybe there are some Jaguars fans out there that want to go, hey, if we win another division and we win 2 years in a row and we have a winning record, we'll take that. Okay, well then I urge everyone that thinks like that to go back and listen to our conversations with Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen about how they felt about that Buffalo Bills game. They were not happy. That game still sticks with them, because they truly thought, much like I said too after the game, even though Bills fans want to feel a certain type of way about it, have fun with your new crappy jerseys, but they all felt like, you know, they were the better team, and they let one get away, right? Like they were destined for great things, and they didn't reach expectations. That's how they feel like that, all right? And going into this season, that's still being talked about. So if they think like that, and we're supposed to mirror the team, well then guess what, Jaguars fans? It's okay to think about it like that too and say, you know what? That Buffalo game was BS. We should have beat them. We have unfinished business. Let's make some noise again this year. Let's go even farther. Like, it's okay to think like that. That's what Liam Cohen's thinking. That's what Trevor Lawrence is thinking. I guarantee that's what every single player, even if you're a rookie in that locker room right now, is thinking. So if they're thinking it, then guess what? I'm going to think it too. And when you want to talk about, you know, coach camp and everything, in terms of having a little bit of that, you know, maybe a bad practice, like, that's what it's all about. Like, the worst thing that you can have as a coach is like an all-star team with, like, you know, Pro Bowlers top to bottom on your side of the ball. And it's like, okay, well, here's another day of dominance. Sweet. Awesome, guys. I guess I don't know what to tell you. Like, because then you almost have to, like, manufacture adversity for these guys. Like, all right, well, you had a great practice. How about you get your asses on the line and run for 20 minutes, because I don't know what else to do. Like, you need bad practices. You need to hold guys accountable. Guys need to know what it looks like, right? So I'm all for it. And the sign that you want to look for, because every team's going to go through this, we talk about it all the time. Whether it's a bad practice on your side of the ball in training camp, whether it's a bad game as a team, as a unit, whatever the case may be, how do you respond to that? And by your indications, the Jaguars defense yesterday didn't bring its A game, but by all indications, this today was a lot better. And that's all you can ask. You're not going to get 100%, grading out every single time with an A+ on your side of the ball. Sometimes it's going to look really crappy. Sometimes it's going to look even so crappy that the social media is going to, But how do you respond to it? And if you respond in a fashion that says, okay, we improved, we learned, we're on to the next thing, that's all you can ask from a franchise.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm going to give you one other thing before we get to Tanner Koziol conversation. Really like the kid, by the way. It was a fun conversation with him on and off the camera. You'll hear some of that in a moment. But I just think it's cool that we talk about the transparency of this organization. Yeah, they might be playing a little bit of gamesmanship on the Anton Harrison stuff right now. They're definitely coy about injuries when those things happen. But overall, very transparent organization. Kind of say it how it is. They answer questions, all those things. Like, they really answer questions is my point. Like, that's fun. That's like refreshing. It's good for you, the listener, the viewer, and of course us here in the media asking the questions. Feels like it's a real conversation. But part of that today, and I just don't think they're shying away from it, which I like, is Campanile, when asked about Branson Combs, he used the word, it's a heated competition. Heated competition between him and Ventrell Miller. And I don't really feel like, even though we knew Ventrell Miller and Devin Lloyd were competing last year, I don't really feel like I've ever heard that kind of statement. Like, it's a heated competition. We know it was, because it came out of camp where it was still either or on the depth chart, and going into the season where they chose Lloyd to start, and then boom, we know what happened. But I just think that's also refreshing to hear camp say that. We know it's a competition, but it also shows where it's at. If the defensive coordinator is saying it's a heated competition, Austen, because to me that sounds like there's not a lot of separation right now. There's a long way to go to figure out who's your starter.
Yeah, and there shouldn't be, right? And we talk about this all the time. Competition breeds out the best of everybody. Cream always rises to the top. And if you mean to tell me we got some true training camp battles, I feel like it's only going to make the team better. So I actually like to hear that.
Yeah, we don't have a ton of camp battles in terms of who's starting, because so many of the starters are returning, at least that we think, unless someone else comes out and surprises. But this obviously is one of the true ones, along with the running back position that we've been talking about now for months. Hey, we are live at the Jaguars headquarters. This camp just wrapped up. Off day tomorrow for the Jags. A week from tomorrow, we're in New Orleans, by the way, with the Jags as they get set to practice against the Saints and then play for the Saints. I would like to bring you sounds from camp, and we do so with the help from Metro Foundation Solutions. They want to keep you safe and sound at home. Foundation repair, crawl space, gutter solutions. They've got your answers. 904-468-0454. Get a free estimate with Metro Foundation Solutions, and you can check them out online, metrofondationsfl.com. Tanner Koziol, where does he fit? He's a big guy now, big basketball player, high producer at Ball State. Went to Wisconsin for a semester, almost went to Louisville, almost went to North Dakota, went to Houston to finish his career, ends up being a 5th-round pick of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he's just growing. We're just seeing the early stuff on Tanner Koziol. There's a lot of upside for this young man, and there's a lot of upside immediately for him to contribute in the passing game. You're almost a week into this part of it. Yes, sir. I mean, does it just feel like football to you, or can you tell there's a different intensity about this part since you got here?
Yeah, the main thing is it's no longer being a student athlete. You're just an athlete, and this is the profession, and I truly love it. And I get to put all my time into just ball. There's really nothing else that you need to focus on. You got all your time in the facility. You got such a long schedule that you could just purely focus on ball and getting better. And we're such a detail-oriented offense that once you just continue to rep and get the details down and get the reps in, just only get better.
How do you learn it? Because there's a lot to learn. What are your study habits?
Last night it was me and Bork. We were in his hotel room going through the whole script. I'll have my girlfriend read me the script. Nick Mullins will send me an audio recording of the plays, and I'll listen to his sweet voice before I go to bed. And really just going through it as much as I can and getting my mental process down, because right now I feel like I'm still playing slow. I feel like being laid off the ball is an issue for me, and I just got to continue to get better and just get up to the line knowing my job right away, so that my pre-snap process and everything in my head is moving slower, but my play is moving faster.
That's a real thing, though, right? Absolutely. I mean, we talk about it for years. You just want to be able to play fast, but it's hard to play fast until you really know what you're doing.
100%, yeah. Like at Ball State, I felt like my best football was played my junior year after I was in an offense for 3 years, and I had such a good hold on it. And I just want to speed up the process of learning this offense, learning both the Y and the F, and just being as versatile as I can and just continue to get better at the things, like not making the same mistakes twice. That's something that kills, and just can't do it.
How is the balance for you psychologically? One, beating yourself up a little bit too much, maybe getting frustrated with that process. But then the other side of things, you caught a lot of balls, a lot of high volume in your career. That's not probably going to be the case right away off the jump here. So is there a little mental gymnastics involved in all of that?
Honestly, no. I've always thought of how can I make an impact, because as a freshman it was kind of like that. Like I was just like that third, fourth tight end, to find a way to get him the ball when we can, but it really wasn't the main focus. But I was just ready for my opportunity every time, prepared like I was going to start, and just know every job. And like this is the NFL, like opportunities come out of nowhere. So whenever those arise, just I got to be ready.
One more thing about learning, is there something when you got here, maybe it was in the spring or maybe right now, that you're like, man, I had no idea about that. I mean, this is a different level. I mean, maybe even the teachings are a different level. Or did you just say, hey, it's football? That part is still similar.
Yeah, honestly, it took a couple. Honestly, I think it took till coming back to camp to be like, hey, it's just football. Going through the offense for a second time has been a lot better, but still it can be even better and learning it faster. But honestly, it hit me coming back to camp, like learning the offense for a second time. I felt a little more comfortable, like some things are moving faster. And honestly, yeah, it just got to like, hey, it's just football.
You seem to catch just about everything. Are the hands a gift, or is it something that you really have locked in on over the years and something clicked along the way at Ball State or wherever else?
It was since my dad was born, the genetics that he had, ridiculously long arms, ridiculously big hands. Since youth football, I could pull up clips of just putting me out and running a fade in youth football. Like, it's just been a thing. Like, we would do 9-man protection and just quarterback roll out and throw it up to me. So it's just been, I've always had a knack for it. Don't know where it came from. One of the things God blessed me with, but I could definitely thank my dad for his great genetics.
Yeah, we don't talk about a bunch, but the wingspan, that's a real deal thing with you, right? I mean, you can pretty much, that's a friendly thing for a quarterback.
100%. The wingspan, and then when you can match it up with timing of the ball, like it's a nightmare for defenders, because no matter what, like we called it beat at birth at Ball State. Like since he was born, like I was just bigger. So I got to continue to utilize my size to my advantage, but also just have the details down, because if I could separate at my size is already a X factor, and then once I can separate with it, I'm just an even bigger target and more space for the quarterback.
One thing going back, you've made some important decisions, but my guess is they were pretty tough decisions as a young player. Yeah. I think you could have gone to North Dakota, you end up at Ball State. I think you almost went to Wisconsin, you came, I think, back to Ball State, or maybe that's where you went to Houston. How much, as you look at that trajectory, you're like, man, those were the right decisions because it put me in a position that 100%. You're now in?
It was the people that I was around. The number one thing, after my sophomore year at Ball State, we kind of had some struggles with the offense, and I was just like everyone else. I was like, man, I didn't get the ball like I thought I would. I got less catches as a sophomore than as a freshman. Like, what's going on? And it was really just, I went in the portal and I committed to Louisville at the time. And then I was just like I feel like I was just following a crowd. Like, everyone was like saying, like, if you could go bigger, go bigger. But I had a coach back at Ball State that just dug into me, and he promised me like a lot of things. And his belief in me changed everything. And then that year changed my love and passion for football. And I feel like that was the year that I made the biggest step to being the player that I am today. And it's just the mental focus and the mental toughness to say, like, hey, like, I might look dumb for this. Like, I'm going to tell these coaches and let them down. Like, I'm not coming here anymore. And, like, the media has all of what they want to say. But at the end of the day, like, it's a business. And I was making the best decision for myself at the time. And God's plan always works out. And I'm a firm believer in that. And I couldn't thank him enough for guiding me to where I am today.
Last one for you. How dynamic are you guys at tight end? I've been around here 2 decades now. They've had good tight ends. Yeah. Brent last year, Evan Ingram, Mercedes Lewis, all the way back. You've heard the names. But I don't know if I've had a ton of depth in that room that's so dynamic. You seem to offer something different than Nate and Brenton as well. Are we right on that? Do you feel that? Can you guys see that in your meeting rooms, on the practice field, that you guys have a chance to be a pretty dynamic group?
Yeah, I think we got a little bit of everything, but I think more importantly, everyone wants to be able to do everything. And that's what makes it so impactful, being in 13 personnel, and there's not really any tendencies. Just you can line up anywhere and you don't know what's coming. You don't know what's on the backside, what's on the front side. So if everyone is as versatile as possible, it's the best, but obviously we do all have our strengths. Appreciate you guys.
Good luck to you.
Appreciate it.
Nice to meet you guys.
From Tanner Koziol there. We were talking to him a little bit after, too, about his blocking, just had what that is like, because he wants to be a complete tight end. He wants to be the 13 personnel, as mentioned there, where they can disguise stuff. They don't have tells, all those things that we talk about a bunch. But he didn't do a ton of blocking in college. I mean, he's a pass-catching receiver. And he got into college at 205, Austin. So he's just been a gifted pass catcher. That's where he could make an impact right away. But then he got to the point where he's playing a ton of snaps, and he really doesn't even feel like at times his blocking was as good as it could have been.
Yeah.
Because he was so tired, maybe, playing as many snaps as he was. He's running routes down the field, all these different things. So I think he's a bit untapped in that area, but he also seems to be excited about the prospects of learning it. He said his offseason next year will be one of his most important offseason of his playing career, because he'll likely even add more weight when he has more downtime to be able to do that.
Yeah, just hearing him talk a little bit, it's why it was a blessing that I really play on the defensive side of the ball, just simply because it's so much easier to pick up, especially as a rookie, right? And I think we saw it with Travis Hunter, his rookie season, in terms of the motions and everything. Like, people don't understand like how intricate all that stuff is, right? Like, not only are you expected to go out there, go against guys that are trying to take your head off, run at full speed, trust the quarterback and everything, but at the same time, you have to learn like a 1 minute play call, know exactly where you line up, where you go into motion, try to time it up exactly right, know who you're blocking if it's going to be a run play, know what you're going to run, or what kind of route you're going to run if it's a pass play. There's so much that goes into it. Oh, by the way, if there's going to be a check down and audible, you better know that too. So there's so much that goes into just the pre-snap. Well, by the time you actually run your route, you're thinking about so much stuff, man. So I really like how he was really intricate in saying, like, hey, this is – and he's telling the truth. Like, your first year, it's going to take time. Like, it's not going to be perfect. And once again, you saw it with Travis Hunter, right? Like, we saw the glimpses of brilliance on offense, but we also saw, all right, penalties, maybe not running the right route and everything. It just takes time. And unfortunately, there's no magic pill that you can take. It's just like you got to get your reps in. So I'm very curious to see where he's going to fit in this offense this year and how they're going to use him. One would probably expect, a lot of red zone opportunities if he's great at that jump ball, if he's great at, creating distance, separating and everything. Maybe he'll have some touchdowns this year.
Yeah, I think they'll utilize him in those roles. It certainly appears. I think you said something really important, and it sounds like, oh, yeah, we know that. But I think we get impatient with this. You think when you're a pro that what we think when they are pros, when they make it to the NFL, they're finished products. And you got to remind people, they're not finished products. There's a ton of growth that goes into it from here, especially given your background, what you did, what you're going to be asked to do, your growth, when you're done growing. It sounds like he's going to put on, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 pounds. Like, he's not done. He's got a frame to be able to do that. So I just do think what you said, which sounds so simple and normal to say, hey, it takes time. I think it really does. And I think in the tight end room, Brenton Strange is a great example of that. And we have done this exercise way back in the ESPN 690 days, where you can take a lot of tight ends over the years, and it takes time for development. That is an intricate position, a very difficult position, what you're asked to do, how much you need to know and do, and then how much you need to grow into your body sometimes just to physically be able to handle defensive ends and other parts of the game. So I think what you said is accurate. I just think sometimes we gloss over it. This guy is, I don't think he's a project. I think he actually can contribute right away. I just think he is going to maybe have a different role through the course of his first few years of his career in Jacksonville, where you could see him become a bit more of a complete tight end by year 3. Let's just say.
Without a doubt, man.
What are you celebrating here?
My son has somehow found his way into the chat. What's up, Ronan?
Oh, really?
So that's my dad, yeah. He said he's gonna give me a shout-out today, and I guess that's his shout-out, man. So, Rones, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in, man. Make sure you tell all your friends to like and subscribe, and Parker Washington, that like button. Since we're on the tight end conversation, guys, and this is more geared towards Hamby, but Brent, feel free to take part in this exercise too as well. Hamby, we're going to do a little bit of a role play, okay?
All right.
I'm going to call you on the phone real quick. Okay. Ring.
Hello?
Hamby, what's up, man? It's your cousin Tony. How you been, man?
I'm good. What's going on, Tony? How can I help you?
Well, first of all, let me just say, the Atlanta Braves really crapped the bed. Sorry about that one, but nevertheless, that's not the reason why I'm calling here. I'm big into fantasy football. My wife's really hounding me, man, and I actually put the mortgage on the line this year for fantasy football.
Oh, dear.
Listen, man, you got your ear to the ground in terms of fantasy football in Jacksonville. I need your help, man. Give me the one tight end that I should target that's going to be maybe some value for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like, are we feeling Brenton Strange? Are we feeling Nate Borkature? I mean, I heard Tanner Koziol, man. The guy's a receiver. You know, I need those fantasy points and touchdowns. How are we feeling about it, man? Help me out, please. Mortgage on the line. Sorry about the Braves. I'll hang up the phone and listen to your call. Thank you.
No, don't take Brenton Strange because people are going to reach for him, especially. Where do you, real quick, Tony, get back on the line. Where do you live? Because if you live in Jacksonville, people are going to reach for Brenton Strange because they love him. So there's no value there.
So I'm actually not in Jacksonville. I'm between some hedges in Georgia. I'm not sure what the city's called.
Great point.
Because it's Georgia and hey, Georgia, you know?
Right.
There's some hedges, and that's where I'm staying.
Okay, still don't take Brenton Strange. Definitely don't take Borkature because they might not go his way. And if they do, it'll be a slip screen here out of 13 personnel, middle of the field, try to get him in field goal range on a 2nd and long, right back on script. The guy that you need to take, something just came across my desk, Austin. If you get the reference, you get it.
Wolf Wall Street,
how about
got you.
14th round, let's go Tanner Koziol and chalk him up for 6 passing touchdowns.
6 passing touchdowns.
All in the red zone. All in the back half of the – you can even pick this guy up on week 3 or 4 off of the waiver wire if you so choose. This is the guy you're going to want if your starting tight end is on a bye. Forget all the other garbage on the waiver wire. You need Tanner Koziol, and he's going to send you to the moon.
All right, making that a note right now. Thanks, man. Once again, mortgage on the line. Appreciate you. Go dog. What's our Sick'em? What do we say again? Sorry, man. I had a couple cocktails. I forgot what we say when we're Georgia Bulldog fans.
That's good enough.
What is it?
Sick'em? Some cocktails or some dry wine. That'll play.
Dog up. All right, we'll see you later.
Dog.
I don't know. Dog down. I don't know.
I really it was right in the wheelhouse for Hamby. As soon as you said, "Hey man, this is Tony," you should have said Fauci.
No, man, I ain't trying to plead the fifth. Brent, what do you think though in terms of the question? Obviously, I can call you up if you want, or we can just you can call. But what do you think? Like in terms of fantasy football, you don't play it a lot, but this is more coming down to who do you think's going to have really like the stellar season this year at the tight end position?
Yeah, I have a hard time thinking Koziol getting 6. I get what Hamby's saying, 14th round. I understand about the value part, even in fantasy football. Brenton Strange might be a bit overplayed, but I also think there's a decent ceiling for Brenton Strange to have a hell of a season, right?
Yeah,
he could, and I just think your odds are better that he does. So, and listen, how many touchdowns did Strange have last year? Was it 5? I want to say maybe like 5.
Yes, it was 5.
Yeah.
And he missed 5 games. I mean, why couldn't he get 8 to 10 touchdowns? And you could still sprinkle in a couple to Borkature or even Koziol, but he could get 10 touchdowns if this passing game really clicks, and also you get an MVP kind of season from Trevor Lawrence, which some people think can happen, right? And why not? That's the sunny side of it. And one other thing, out of whatever you were describing, split zone, whatever else, maybe he gets a handoff and a rushing touchdown from the 2-yard line.
You never know, right? I mean, that's kind of the Travis Kelce effect a little bit, where he's a great athlete. You have to find a way to get him the ball. So, I mean, I don't think Tanner Koziol's not related. Like, he's not dating like any pop singer yet, right?
No.
All right, good. So there's no risk of fall off. I like that a lot. Duval TV, tight ends suck in fantasy anyways. Tell that to Kyle Pitts, who actually have a first-round grade on this year in terms of all fantasy football, whether it's half-point PPR or full-point PPR. I disagree with you, Duval TV.
One of my favorite parts of the interview with Koziol, by the way, was the fact that he said, I get to hear Nick Mullins' sweet voice.
Sweet, yeah,
that's how he's studying, right?
That was good, man.
I like that. I thought he gave a lot of good insight about how he's learning it. And it's funny that I didn't really plan for that question, but he kind of mentioned the student stuff, and I got through it. But last night I was actually thinking about that. Hamby, write it down, because I was thinking of like a story for preseason games. Could be, how do these guys study, right? We don't like to study. People don't like school. These guys don't like school. They want to play football. But they're asked to do a lot of schoolwork, quite frankly. Now, it's easier to do schoolwork about something you love, no doubt. But how do you actually study and get in the weeds of the book and everything that's going to make you better? Because everyone will say the best way to quick success in the league is to know the book, right? And to get, on your P's and Q's, if you will. So, Austen, how did you study? I know you don't have as much on the defensive side versus offense, but was there a method that you used to actually help you get the playbook, whether it was a new one or specifically when you came out of college?
Yeah, so it was this crazy thing called taking notes, and I would take those notes, and I would go over them. That's all I did. I literally just sat in meetings, I took notes, and the plays that I had to know, and then I would go back to my hotel room and just kind of memorize them and everything, and yeah, that was about it.
Okay, so you did a lot of like reciting and memorizing, and I mean, but again, the book is, you mentioned it almost every time we do an offensive player interview.
Yeah.
Thankfully, you're a defensive player. Like, there's a lot more in the weeds of things to memorize the play call, everything else.
Without a doubt.
Like, you need this reciting and your girlfriend to help you out, and recordings and all. Like, it's interesting that he uses so many different methods to try to consume this as quick as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a girlfriend. I just had Paul Posluszny move me over with his hand if I was in the wrong gap, and that worked out just fine, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'd be like, hey, Paul. Okay, cool. All right, we're all good then. Sweet.
You got the thumbs up, Paul.
Paul's literally making like 15 calls at the same time, and you have my ass like, hey, dude. Yeah, good. Okay, cool. Awesome, Paul. Thank you.
That's why. Here's one other thing about the deep dive on the studying, though. Like, the kids now I don't know about for them, but the kids, I mean, how many kids are using ChatGPT for like every answer they get, right? Of anything. So you can't cheat. This is my point. Like, you've got to know it. It's one thing to go try to get through English or history class in school, and you do the homework and you can get through it, and whatever, your friends help you out, and maybe now ChatGPT helps you out. Block your ears, Steph, and teachers. Sorry, but
Ronan,
it's
my son.
It's Ronan. Sorry, he's in there. It's but it's a little bit like math in that sense, where Steph actually does teach math. It's like, you've got to learn how to do it. Or because when you have to show your work, it's not just about the answer. Math people make you show the work. And so it's a little bit more like that, where you got to know how to do it. And I just don't know, maybe not right now, but I wonder in like 5 years if there'll be a lot of guys that come into the league and just don't know how to study. They just don't know how to learn it. Because right now the access to learning stuff in like high school and actually even college is pretty simple.
Yeah, but I think football is going to, because this is the beautiful thing about football. And really any sport, I feel like the more that you put into it, the more you get out of it. Like, yes, there's going to be athletes that are blessed genetically with all the physical tools, but if you aren't willing to put the work in terms of studying your playbook and doing your stuff, like, it'll come to light, right? Like, you're only going to get as far in this world as your work ethic takes you. So, and I truly believe that. So, yes, it may be different in school and math and everything, but like, I think sports is the ultimate equalizer, where it's gonna bring to the surface just how much you care or not.
All right, forget all that. Jags Japan just said backup QB talk. We need the backup QB talk back, and that is my specialty. So maybe we'll just go ahead and headline the show with that tomorrow.
Let's go.
We'll talk all about Nick Mullins, Drew Aguilar, Carter Bradley, all 2 hours tomorrow.
Anthony Richardson still on the chopping block or not?
Yeah,
He's still on the trade block?
Bring it on.
Get him there, man.
In true Hamby fashion, we're going to talk more about the backup quarterback than the starting quarterback. Because I actually came into today thinking, like, once again, we've hardly talked about Trevor Lawrence, and that will be a tomorrow topic, I think. Like, he's had some really good days. Hammy and I are commenting a little on social media on some of these plays that are highlight reels. Man, those throws are really good.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think the offense was unbelievable today, but I do think, like where is Trevor at right now? And where it's weird. It's like, this franchise doesn't have many quarterbacks at all. It's so hard to find a quarterback, yet I, in a way, feel like we're already taking Trevor's stuff for granted.
Holy cow! Zay Flowers just got $140 million. Are you serious?
He just doesn't want to talk about Trevor.
Oh my gosh, Parker's gonna get an absolute bag.
Just wait.
Oh my gosh.
I tried telling you.
140 for Zay Flowers. I'm not
trying to. What's that over? 4 years?
There's
4 years. That's 35 per.
There's a couple more wide receivers that still need to get paid, and Parker Washington's taking his time.
I'm kissing Parker goodbye. I'm sorry. It ain't happening. Like, how? With what money?
Well, he's not getting paid that.
Hey, he's not making Zay Flowers money.
I understand that, but he ain't gonna make. 2 weeks ago, I think when we had the conversation, I said $19 million a year. yeah, kiss that baby goodbye. Ain't no shot in the world.
Oh yeah, come on, man. That was never an option.
Come on
now. Not after Christian Watson. That was never an option.
That's insane.
I actually saw Spotrac did.
I saw
like
this. This is hilarious.
Projection of like 4 years, $60 million on him.
15 per.
15 per. Like, I just don't see it happening. And that thing ain't getting easier. That's for sure. I mean, that's
nope.
Like we've joked about it, but in reality, like from his play to other deals getting done, it really feels like he's making like $1 million more a day.
Well, yeah, and once again, like the practice stuff is one thing, but when your peers around you are getting what they're getting, and once again, there'll be some more of that ball. Like Drake London's due for one. They got beat.
No. Drake London got paid.
He got paid.
He did get. Wait,
he got a super bag.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Not Puka, right? Doesn't Puka need to get paid?
I thought Puka got a deal.
I don't. Yeah, Drake London got paid.
Yes,
Drake London
got an absolute bag.
Okay. I guess I don't know when that
was. And then Olave just got paid, and Zay Flowers. So I mean, you got 3 guys off there. I don't. Maybe.
Okay, Puka does need to be paid.
Look up this one guy because I feel like this is going to be the deciding factor. Michael Wilson.
Yeah, it's a good call.
He's got 1 year left, right?
He hasn't got paid yet.
Watch to see if Michael Wilson gets paid.
The interesting thing about that, Austin, is like they're in just a different world than the Jags are.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So
but they have money.
What they value him at. They've got plenty of money. Actually, have more money than the Jags. So
they have money, and because Marvin Harrison's still there too, correct? Last time I checked.
He's dropping
Marvin Harrison. Okay, well, you invested a lot in Marvin Harrison, but last year the wide receiver that really like played above their level was Michael Wilson.
Yeah,
he's got 1 more year left on his deal. I don't know if they're really keen on bringing him back. I assume they did because he was a target monster last year, and he actually helped them like be halfway competitive, more than Marvin Harrison Jr. did. So there's a little comparison to Parker Washington where you never pictured him being the number 1 guy, but he kind of played like a number 1 guy last year for your team. So the Michael Wilson one is the one I would keep an eye on if it doesn't get done before the Parker Washington one does, because I think that's really going to set the precedent of what Parker could be making.
I'm going to look at Parker's stats real quick, but Michael Wilson's stats last year were huge. He had a 1,000-yard season, 7 touchdowns, and he got thrown the ball 126 times. I mean, targeted a crazy amount, 78 catches. But prior to that, he basically had 2 similar years, 38 and 47 catches for 565, 548. So he's in that category, 3 and 4 touchdowns those seasons. So last year was obviously a career year for him, much like Parker. Just a real quick look at Parker previous years. Really didn't do much in the passing game his first year, 132 yards and 16 catches, 32 for 390 for a few touchdowns in 24. And then last year, obviously, goes to 58, 847. So Michael Wilson would actually project probably even a bigger deal than Parker Washington based on the numbers. You could, though, throw in the fact that Parker does such a good job punt returning that might increase his value and catch up depending on how they want to see it. So I like your thought. I just like when I see the Zay Flowers and the Olave deals and the London deals, I don't think it compares to what they're trying to get done with Parker Washington. I don't think you guys do either. I just think it showcases how much the market is just bananas right now for wide receivers, which then makes the second tier guys, even if you want to look at them that way, the B-level player or the wide receiver 2 or whatever you want to say. It just makes their dollar value go up too. So that's what we're seeing, this domino effect where it's just crazy right now for wideouts.
Of course. I mean, and once again, like, is Parker Washington in the Zay Flowers? Like, obviously Zay Flowers means a lot more to the Ravens probably than Parker Washington means to the Jaguars right now, right? Because they need, they need Zay Flowers, right, in Baltimore. But at the end of the day, it's raising the floor. And the longer that Parker waits and the more these contracts come into fruition, the better it is for him, right? Like, if you look at the risk versus reward, like, yes, and knock on wood, hopefully nothing happens. But, like, yes, an injury can always happen in training camp, right? But if it doesn't and he's still doing his thing day in and day out, guess what, man? Like, the price drastically went up. So I get both sides. I get James Gladstone saying, well, we got to maybe see it again a little bit, or maybe we're going to lower the offer a little bit. And I get Parker Washington's side that's going, look at what everyone else is making. Look at what I did last year. You better get me at least in the ballpark.
I tell you what, it feels like they
anymore, man.
It feels like they should have got the deal done like in May.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's starting to feel like. That would have been good, but just wow. We'll see. I don't want to. I'm not bringing this up. I think it's too soon for this conversation. I can't be all of a sudden. I think in his instant reaction is like, oh, they're not even going to sign Parker Washington. It's not going to get done. I'm not there. I don't think so. I think there's plenty of runway, plenty of ramp to get to where you need to get to. And negotiate that thing out. But I do think as we get closer to that Labor Day time, to the start of the season, where you start to put away contract discussions and business talk for the most part, then you can start to wonder about free agency and about getting the free agency. And this deal's so complicated, the way the Jags are situated right now, do the odds go up that he could hit free agency? And what would life without Parker Washington look like for the Jacksonville Jaguars? I don't think we talk about it now. I do think we're a few weeks away from that possible tough conversation.
We are. And once again, I'm not trying to take sides here, but if I'm Parker's people, because I don't think of, okay, well, let's just get the sure thing, the money, just in case an injury happens. Like, I don't think like that. I think of how much are you worth. And I think the advantage that Parker Washington's people have is, yes, he is a key piece to this offense, but he's not the biggest key where they're going to be like, we're going to franchise tag him. Because if they franchise tag Parker Washington next year, that's going to be at least 27, probably even higher now with the way the wide receivers are going. Like, George Pickens is slated to make $27 million on the franchise tag in a season. You aren't going to justify paying Parker Washington $27 million on a franchise tag. Now, I understand that that's way ahead and a lot of things can happen, but just like trying to get all the pieces in place here and everything and just kind of having like the foresight, that ain't going to happen. And I think Parker Washington's people know that as well. So that's an advantage for them, where it's like, either you pay us or I'm probably going to walk, because you ain't going to franchise tag us at 27, maybe 28 million.
Yeah,
at least I don't think they would. But
it doesn't sound like they would, but it does kind of give you, I mean, if we're talking, if the agents are asking for 22, 23, 24 million, and that's the number, then maybe it's not that far away from trying to do that. Because there's one other extreme factor in this, the longer it goes, is how well does Brian Thomas Jr. play? Because you could have a really good Brian Thomas Jr. season, get out of the year, and then he's up for a contract. Or he does have that fifth-year option you can play for, but at least he's up for a contract. So it gets really fascinating. I don't think it gets dicey yet. I just think it gets fascinating how the Jags, how Parker's camp, everyone wants to handle this. And Austen, I mean, he's a sixth-round pick. I mean, we are talking about generationally life-changing money that injuries do come into play a little bit. It's not like you can't think about that. Like, you have to at least take that into consideration if you're Parker's camp, I think.
That's cool. Where's Antonio Brown drafted? Like, just because, I mean, I get it. He's a late round pick, but once again, it always comes down to what the money says, I think, for a lot of guys. And I think with Parker, I think he's under the ilk where it's like, you want to be appreciated because you know what you're getting with him, right? Like, I don't think he's just doing it for money. I think he's doing it for what the money says. And keep in mind, we interviewed Trevor Lawrence, and we went through the wide receiver list. There was one guy where he spent a lot of time talking about more than any other guy, and that was Parker Washington. So then go to ask yourself the question of, what does Trevor Lawrence want as well? I would say I'm sure Trevor Lawrence wants Parker Washington in that building for a long time to come.
Yeah, I would say so too. Duval TV, here's where it does relate to Brian Thomas Jr., what he's doing. Because if you're paying $20 million a year for Jacoby Myers and you're paying 20-something million for Parker Washington, and then you got to sooner or later pay Brian Thomas Jr. has 2 out of 3 very good years and shows the talent and the star potential that we were talking about after year 1. Now you're talking about potentially investing a crap load of money in the wide receiver position. So I do think it actually correlates potentially. It just depends on when it all happens and how big it gets. I think which really could depend on how good of a season Brian Thomas Jr. has and how much you want to rush that deal or not.
Yeah, but Brian Thomas Jr. also has that 5th-year option in 28, and by that time, Jacoby Myers probably will be gone, yeah?
And he could, if you wait that long, Austen, yes, you could do that. No different than
I'm saying worst-case scenario. Like worst-case scenario, if you're behind the salary cap, you get in your mind, okay, Brian Thomas Jr. is the future, Jacoby Myers is right now, we'll transition from Jacoby Myers for a couple years, and then, get him off the books, and then we'll get Brian Thomas Jr. on the books for a long-term deal as well. Like, it's doable.
Yeah, it absolutely is doable. Much like the franchise tag could be doable for Parker Washington.
And you still have Travis Hunter in a capacity if you need him as well, depending.
Yeah, well, and that's where, again, but this feels like a foreshadowing of 3 weeks down the road conversation, but they have that luxury of being able to play with that however they see fit. And that means even if for some reason the price gets too big for Parker Washington, they could utilize next year more Travis Hunter on offense potentially. Sure. So again, it's we've said it from day one. It's pretty complicated. It can be, and it's getting more complicated. I think is the problem for the Jags. Let's get to our Republic Services recycled headlines of the day. Olivia Tassley at camp just about every day. Here she throws a great party about a great report.
We're going to go defensive heavy for today's recycled headlines, and we're going to start with the not so good news. Linebacker Jared Barlett, who just got here at the Jacksonville Jaguars facility, he was carted off the field early on following team drills. He was holding his head, he was shaking his head, not sure what that injury is. We will likely learn about it a little later in the week, but he was carted off the field and did not return. Anthony Campanile, a little happier following today's practice, following a not-so-good Monday for this Jacksonville Jaguars defense, and a camp battle that he is loving to see is the one at linebacker between Branson Combs and Ventrell Miller. He called today's camp battle a heated one between the two as they constantly try to make each other better. That was your recycled headlines. Guys, let's go back to you.
Lastly, republicservices.com/lithium batteries. Check out how you can be safe throwing away batteries, doing some cleaning before school starts and the kids get back to school. Don't throw those lithium batteries in the trash. You can cause fires in your house, in the garbage trucks, everywhere else. So don't do that. Check out republicservices.com/lithium batteries. Those are your Republic Services recycled headlines of the day. Bye, Dad. Bye, Ronan.
See you, Ronan. Thanks for stopping by, dude.
See you, Rones.
Appreciate you coming by, my man.
The good news for Ronan there is at least he was somewhat interested in what we were saying.
Oh, yeah.
He hung on for a little bit.
Dude, it's a big deal when we get over like roadblocks and stuff, and he's got other things going on, and he's listening to the Brent and Austen show. Must have been a great show today, but really funny how he tuned in after the Braves stuff from Jason Hamby, but probably a smart decision on his part. Real quick, man, before we head out, Hamby, a lot of people in the chat today. YB, I think it was YB400 was getting wished congratulations on something.
Yes,
what was it?
An anniversary.
Didn't see it. My bad, YB400, but congratulations on how many years?
I think it was 8.
8 years,
I'm
man.
right. I think it was 8.
Congratulations, my dude. Putting your time, effort, and energy into it. More power to you, man. So congrats, man.
Love it. By the way, did you get the Man City or Manchester United jersey?
I mean, I ordered it. Yes, I don't have it.
Oh, you haven't got it.
It's going to be a week. But, yep, I will be rocking the away black one, and my son, probably still in the chat, is fine, will be rocking the Erling Haaland one because he wanted the Erling Haaland one, obviously. Me personally, I wanted a little more. I could wear it out, on a night on the town or something like that. So I didn't want a giant white number. But, yes, we are both excited.
All right, good stuff. Who was hurt today? Bartlett, the linebacker, who just was signed the last couple of days. He was the one carted off the field. I think that's Killer Tofu who's saying that. All right, they're going to get out of here. 2 o'clock today, Club 904 with Neil O'Brien. She caught up with Josh Cameron. Might hear from Josh on the show. If not, we might play that as well tomorrow.
QB
time
so we'll
have
tomorrow,
some more reaction.
baby.
We're going to talk a little bit of QB. Maybe we do the quiz or something.
Oh, yes, the
soon,
quiz.
right?
You do the quiz?
My favorite show of the year.
Quarterback rankings.
We're going to throw hands.
Kirk Cousins coming in at the top 5. Can't wait.
You thought the Braves and the Brewers conversation was rough.
I think Jags Japan said we got Braves, Rush, and backup QBs to start the show tomorrow.
The crowd goes mild, baby. Let's go.
Hamby special tomorrow. 1st and 10 training camp tonight, 11:15 on CBS 47, Fox 30. Have a good day, everyone.
When we say the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network is everywhere, we mean it. If you don't want to see our ugly faces and you just want to hear our takes, listen to the podcast. It's up 30 minutes after every live show. Spotify, iTunes, Apple, Google Play. It's really that simple. Just pull out your phone. I'm on Spotify, Action Sports Jacks. Every episode is right there, split into hour chunks, so you get exactly what you're looking for.
I think it would be a better chance that Branson Combs wins the weak side linebacker spot than Wyatt Milam wins the right guard spot. And that's more because Patrick McCarry has done more in the league.
Stupid take.
He's more.
Maybe you only have 15 minutes before the kids come home. You don't have time to listen to the full show. You're craving Jags content. The YouTube page is for you. We have a separate playlist called Brent and Austen Show Segments. It's Jags only conversations right there every day. Subscribe. Don't miss any Jags content. Action Sports Jacks.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue.